everybody. Welcome to another edition of PoCommunity. I'm Mike Arboyd, and I'm sitting here with Genny Mae from the Hive bouldering. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Another, beautiful day outside.
Yep,
Can't complain.
yep.
Tell me about the Hive. Tell me about what you guys do.
Yeah, so we're a bouldering only, I don't want to say franchise, but we've got a few locations. So it's a type of rock climbing, lower level wall or lower height walls, sorry. But you're landing on mats, so you're not relying on a rope to catch you when you fall. But yeah, it's a really, really cool way to problem solve while being active and kind of get to be part of a really, really cool community that's really unlike anything else, I think.
Cool. So how'd that get all started? Where's the first location?
So our first location opened up in Vancouver proper. It's on Industrial Avenue. That was, yeah, probably 8.5 years ago, almost 9 years ago now. And from there, we opened up our North Vancouver location, and then Surrey followed a couple years after that. This year, we also opened up a location in Winnipeg and in PoCo.
Well,
Yeah.
so obviously this year opening up anything is just
Yeah,
scary for
yeah.
anybody's ears. So tell me about how that's been starting up.
I think if we were opening up a brand new thing with nothing else, it would have been a lot harder. But we already have the backing of our other locations, which I think is really helpful, and the community there is with us is so strong. So we had a lot of support, which is great. Everybody was really excited. But that doesn't mean it was easy.
Yeah.
I don't think opening anything is ever really easy, especially this year. So, but it's been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like anytime you might start to get momentum, something happens.
Yeah.
Right? We were in the
Yeah.
same boat. We're a startup in this year, where this is our
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
location. So yeah, it's a crazy time. Obviously, you got to take your precautions. So
For sure.
that's probably something you guys have had to deal with, considering people are like gyms, especially like touching stuff
Yeah.
constantly, and yeah. So forgot how many precautions you guys have to put into place.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
We shut down. We made the decision before like the mandates were kind of put out to shut down. And our community stood behind us, which was really good. They really understood where we're coming from, and then everything got shut down anyway. So, when we opened back up, though, masks were mandatory right from the get-go. We didn't have there was no question. We were one of the only gyms in the area that had that as a rule starting out. We also have a lot of other the gyms have changed in like how you check in now. So instead of just going in anytime you want to, you have to book in advance, and there's only a certain number of slots per time. And we have to monitor that, and we change it if we need to, so we can reduce our capacity really easily. And then when people come in, they check in. That's kind of our contact tracing as well. So we see everybody's information as they come in, and they have to check in with us. And then they come in and they immediately have to go wash their hands. And then there's hand sanitizer all over the gym. One thing that we also made mandatory when we first opened again was liquid chalk. So normally when you're climbing, you have the powder chalk, and that's going to prevent you from getting too sweaty, help you stick to the wall better. But we wanted to do as much as we could, so we implemented a liquid chalk only rule, which just means that there's less air particles, less opportunity for coughing.
Okay.
And people aren't probably touching their face as much because there's less irritation in the air. But another added bonus to liquid chalk is it has a high alcohol percentage. So
it kills stuff.
essentially you're using hand sanitizer before you hop on the wall almost every time, which is really helpful. We also, obviously, we can't clean the wall every single time every person hops on and off, but we've been maintaining our rotation of climbs. So we actually, I think it's a full each. How do I phrase this? Each hold on the wall is probably only up there for a maximum of 5 weeks, and then it gets taken down, completely washed, and then put back up in a new way. So new climbs and also clean climbs.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
did you come from a like history of rock climbing before you started with the Hive? Or?
So I grew up in Banff,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really a climber growing up. I was a gymnast and a skier. Um, and then probably a little less than a year before I moved out to Vancouver, my friend took me climbing and I completely fell in love with it. So it's one of those things that's a little bit of addictive. So
Yeah.
once you start, you can't really stop. So yeah, I came out here and tried to find the best gym in the area, what I thought the best gym in the area was, and pretty quickly got a job there too. So
Nice.
yeah, that was just when we only had the one location.
Yeah. And I guess it's gotta be nice, that like free feeling of climbing, like the
Absolutely.
no cords with just the pads basically
Yeah.
protecting you, but it's more of a rush, I guess, that way, more fun for people.
Um, it's just different.
Yeah.
I think that not everybody who climbs with us is strictly a boulderer. Bouldering can be used as an accessory training tool to other types of climbing as well, which is really cool. Um, but it's not the other way is necessarily true. It's harder to train for bouldering, I think, when you're on ropes. Um, but so the style of climbing with bouldering, I would say it's a little bit more powerful, if you will. The movements can be a little harder sometimes, but you're not on the wall for very long.
Yeah.
You're on the wall for like maybe 30 seconds sometimes. So yeah, it's just a very different style and movement than rope climbing, and especially when you're first starting out. But a huge aspect of it is the mental game. It's a lot of pushing your own limits and finding where those limits are, pushing through those, problem solving. So you have to try and figure out the best way to get up the climb, and it's not always straightforward. So really you have to really use your brain. Um, yeah.
So like clientele, you had like regular customers that come in like almost
hmm
like a workout? Is that how it works, or is it like events being booked, or?
So I mean, when events were a thing.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying, like, you could talk about people could watch this podcast when all things are beautiful and golden again, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, can they book events in your space? Or is it more for people that are like doing workout routines that decide to have climbing as part of their workout?
So yeah, climbing at some point ends up being the workout.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
It is like it's full body.
Yeah.
You're using everything and muscles that you didn't know existed.
Mm.
Um, so we don't usually book your standard events. Climbing events will usually look like birthday parties, or sometimes we'll hold more corporate. We still will hold groups. So if you want to come in with a couple of our instructors, we just have to make sure that our group sizes are really small, or that we're coming in at different times than when it's really busy. Yeah, it's changed a little bit, but
Yeah.
we are still doing that. It's just less. Our birthday parties have definitely changed as well, as far as like we do a lot of youth birthdays,
Yeah.
or we did. We are still doing them. It's just it is a little bit modified. So right now, for example, normally we would have the option of you could have up to 6 kids climbing or up to 12 kids climbing at a time. Right now we're only doing up to 6. And normally we would also have you would have 30 minutes in the back room to like have your pizza and cake and presents or whatever else, but that's obviously not an option. We can't have people taking their masks off and eating.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've scrapped that
Yeah.
time frame for the pizza and whatever else in the back. And it's now it's like strictly climbing and games
Yeah.
with an instructor. So we're still doing things like that, but the way like our favorite events are our friendly competition series. So we usually host like friendly competitions where the entire climbing community in the area gets together and just has a lot of fun, climbing brand new climbs that our setters have put up that day. It's just a really good excuse for the community to get together and have fun and try hard. We can't do that,
Yeah,
obviously, but we've found ways to kind of have similar experiences, just spaced out.
yeah. It's just building community is like the key to like a new location or a new
Yeah,
business, and it's been really hard building community without being able to bring them in and building that community in
yeah.
house. We've been trying like just to up our online presence. I don't know if that's something you guys have been doing. Like, have you been doing more online marketing and just going hard with just showing your spaces and what you guys do?
Um, we haven't really had to change our tactics too much because we only have one social media account for all of the BC locations. It like we had tried to do
Oh,
multiple
it's tough.
accounts and we it just didn't make any sense for us and it was too scattered and so now we just have the one and we just cycle through content between the gyms. So it's not really changed that much for us. I guess it's just a matter of like we promote to PoCo now instead of Vancouver area for youth programs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think our marketing. I mean, I'm not the marketing person, so
yeah,
I think I think Kate would probably say differently. But yeah, it's I don't think it's too wildly drastically different.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. I just find now like getting online and just posting as much content, and no
hmm
matter what business you are, is just it helps. It
yeah,
helps so
yeah,
much. That's what we're trying to build here. Is just the idea that use media to
hmm
promote yourselves. Doesn't
hmm
matter mom and pop shop to a media company. Like
yeah,
do use it. Use anything you can to make yourself succeed right now. Because yeah, it seems like anytime you get ahead something will hit you in the
mm,
face and you got to go
yeah,
back another step. And I think it's great that you said that you guys kind of had these rules in place right away. And then like later on in the year, you already had these things into
yeah,
play before they were mandated. I think right now it's now that everything is completely mandated, there's a lot of, I don't know, people that are maskers that are gonna, I don't know, because they've all year they've been openly allowed to do what they want to do.
hmm
It's been difficult to make them just switch completely everywhere they go now. So
yeah,
I think the businesses that took that initiative and made their rules, it kind of was better to have structure. It's better to
yeah.
know where you're at instead of this kind of limbo that everybody's sitting in all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, for sure. No, I think I mean, we had our like a couple people who just will not like they don't want to work out in a mask, and totally fine if you don't want to do that. That's fine. But we're mandating masks from the very beginning. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then it's
you have no
obviously
tolerance
tougher.
there.
Like as like working out is going to be more difficult when you're
Absolutely.
covering your mouth. But if you're passionate about something, shouldn't let something
hmm
so minor ruin your day or ruin your time or
Yeah,
ruin everything around you. It's a very emotional time for people. I just feel
yeah,
like people are so over emotional right now.
yeah,
Yeah, but it makes sense
yeah,
because
for
it's just
sure. Yeah.
questionable times we're living in, right? So, um, yeah, obviously opening up your PoCo location this year. Did you guys have a chance to like hold off, or were you guys like ready to just go with it this year, even though?
Um, I mean, we delayed a little bit because we there were just some things we couldn't really do in terms of construction and
Yeah,
stuff. But it, I mean, it went pretty well anyways. So I think one of the big things was that our hold manu or not our hold our wall manufacturers are from Quebec. So we had to like fly them out here, and they had to build the walls, and that took a little bit longer than normal, um, but it all worked out
nice.
fine. Yeah, I think too. Um, one thing that has been kind of really shown to us in this time is that people take climbing very seriously for their mental health.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's not something that they're willing to or I mean obviously if they have to sacrifice it they will, but it's something that's really important to our community as far as keeping their heads on straight.
Yeah.
So um, we're really happy that we're able to be that space for someone to come to and to just forget about the rest of the world for
Yeah,
a second, and um, yeah, even if it means opening 2 new gyms in a pandemic.
yeah. Well, if people are passionate about what they want to, what they need to do to like have that outlet for mental health,
Yeah.
for even like aggression, like anything, like
Mhm.
it's having gyms. Like I think that's probably why they've shut down like some youth thing, like sports and indoor sports, and adults can't go play their sports indoors, and but gyms are kept open, and I think there's a reason for it because it is like it's almost a spiritual thing for some people.
Mhm.
Some people it's just working out, but for a lot of people
Yeah.
it's their life. It's like literally what clears them, what
Yeah.
refreshes them.
Totally.
So I could imagine if you're into climbing, that's like definitely an amazing outlet when you're over emotional state.
Yeah.
Definitely somewhere where you can clear your mind and just go, right?
Yeah.
So being there and kind of being someplace and having the guts to still go ahead with it this year,
Yeah.
even though it's not going to be as busy as you'd like it if it was last year, next year,
Yeah.
hopefully. But you want to be that place for the community that still
Absolutely.
like is there for this time. Because man,
Mhm.
we're noticing having people in here just it's hard to reach out to people to have them come in
Yeah.
because it's like you almost feel wrong doing it. But just building community, even if they're not going to become members, just getting everybody in the area to like communicate with each other and just
Mhm.
stay on each other's minds and know that we're all going through this garbage time. We're all going through
Yeah.
it, right? So,
We're in
um,
it together.
yeah. Anything else about the gyms that are like unique to you that you want to promote? Like,
um, I mean, the fact we're the only bouldering only gym in the area, so the other gyms in the area, they do have rope sections as well, which is awesome. And I know our staff definitely like to utilize that as well.
yeah,
We love getting on ropes, but yeah, I think our biggest draw is the strength in our community. Honestly, um, it's really unlike everything or anything I've ever seen. So um, we are so grateful for the support that we've seen from them always, but especially this year. Um, and I think that's what probably stands us apart from other things, especially
yeah.
especially in fitness. Like our community is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you're gonna notice in the Port Coquitlam area too. Just it's very the Tri Cities are very community based. They help each
Mhm.
other out. A lot of people. There's like even gyms out here, like just like fitness centers that people come from Vancouver to go to just because they're renowned. I feel like business owners in this area are very they do things for people instead of themselves, and that's I think not the way the world's really going,
Mhm.
and it's nice and refreshing to see
Yeah,
that.
for
So
sure.
I think you guys will notice how great this area is
Oh,
with
we're
the gym.
already noticing it. It's
Yeah,
yeah, we're already loving it,
yeah,
PoCo. So
that's wicked. Where can we find you guys? Where can
so we're on Facebook and Instagram primarily. That's our social media platforms at Hive Climbing on Instagram, and our Facebook is just at the Hive Bouldering Gym. Um, and our website is hiveclimbing.com.
cool. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to promote today?
I think that covers it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. I definitely want to check it out. I
Yeah.
gotta get my butt into shape again. So yeah,
This is a
knowing that
good way to do it.
yeah, oh I know it's gotta be you're holding all your own weight up plus
Mhm.
more and just
Yeah.
yeah, I know how it works. So it's amazing that you guys are in PoCo. Check them out. Um, yeah, times are crazy, but get out of the house if you have to and go have fun at their space because it's good to have an outlet and have somewhere to go to clear your mind during these tough times, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Um, you're watching PoCommunity. It's been another
Mm.
episode. I'm Mike Garboy. She's Genny Mae from the Hive. Have a good one.